All right, Shalom. First off, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of the great millstone, and a sincere peace and salutation to all the Akim that's pushing his word and truth in the sincerity. This is your brother Ganar from the DC camp, coming back at you with another video. And Lord's will, this will be edifying. This is going to be another episode of the show, The Milk, which is episode, I believe, is 24. And Lord's will, we entitled this, you got to go out to the camps. Also, this is for brothers just coming in, brothers just waking up, real basic breakdowns, just real basic things to touch on that you need to help build your foundation, which is to help you ultimately, make it through this thing, because when you come into this thing, you don't necessarily understand what it's about, and you're gonna have a lot of questions. So basic breakdown is the milk, man. It's your foundation, and this episode we're gonna touch on. You have to go out to the camps, man, and this is just go in the spirit. Proverbs, well-known scriptures, and that's the point of this thing. It's just basic scriptures. This is Proverbs 1:21, and it says, wisdom, Salakia. Proverbs 1:20, it says, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. Right, wisdom is once you get these pearls, man. Once you start watching the videos, you start seeing basic breakdowns, like shows like this with the milk, and just basic things, once you learn who you are, learn who the enemy is, and start learning basic breakdowns, you're supposed to get the word out there, man. You commanded to get the word out there. You're supposed to instill the fear of the Lord and spare not no one feelings. You're supposed to condemn the heathens and also the 2/3, but also wake the Jacob, man, the ones that signed and that's crying, man. You're supposed to get out there. It says wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She don't utter her voice, you ain't crying out loud indoors, man. The churches is not where this is supposed to be. You're supposed to be out there in the streets, man. And that's why, the scriptures say that you shall see your teachers, you shall see the men that's out there pushing that work, and it's going to be out in the streets, man. It's not going to be in no churches, man. It's not going to be you're going to see videos like this, sit downs, but hey, we out there every week, man. Starting with GMS, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Hey, Apostle Tahab been doing this for years, man. 35 plus years, non-stop. You see your teachers, man, and they out there pushing the word, still out on the streets, man. Proverbs 1:20, it says, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. And right, she crieth in the chief place of concourse, In every major city, you have a camp downtown in the chief places of the concourse, man. Crying out, showing forth this wisdom. This is Sirach 1:14. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it is created with the faithful in the womb. Right. So when you start to proclaim your wisdom, that's showing the fear of the Lord, man. Because they that love the Lord shall seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and the fear of the Lord is on you, so you have to put it out there on others, man. That's what we commanded to do, man. This is Luke. This is Luke 14:23. It says, and the Lord said unto the servant, go out unto the highways and the hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. Right, It says, go out into the highways, into the hedges, man. You know, so that was a commandment of the Lord, and it says, and compel them to come in. When you research that word, compel, when you look up that word and you dive into that word means to threaten. You know, you're supposed to threaten the people with the prophecies, man, of what's the things to come. You know, what's going to happen to the 2/3 if you don't get yourself together. You know, and you're supposed to compel them to come in. You know, you're supposed to threaten them. You're supposed to instill the fear of the Lord, which is on you, onto the next man. And if it's for him, he's going to feel it and he's going to wake up, man. You know, this is Ezekiel 9 verse 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. 1 second. Right. So when it say go through the midst of Jerusalem, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So when you're going through the midst of Jerusalem, you have to be outdoors to do that, man. You have to go out there and see your people, man. Because plenty time after time when we at camp, you see people, you see some certain Jake walk up and they just ready, man. They sign and they crying. They see the atrocities that's done to our people. You know, they see the unjust works that's done to our people. And they fed up, man. They fed up and they sign and they cry, you know, and then us being out there is going to help Jake wake up, man. So you just being, you know, always or just afraid to go out to the highways and hedges, you know, that's not doing the work of the Lord, man. You know, because you gotta walk by faith, man, and not by sight. You know, and ultimately, man, if you're afraid to go out to the camps, man, you should pray to the Lord, because maybe the Spirit not truly on you. You know, if you know, I'm not saying right away. Maybe it may take some time, but hey, let me read this. This is Jeremiah 10:23. It says, "O Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not a man that walketh to direct his steps," right? You know, so it's all of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. And you should be compelled to go out to the camps, man. You should be compelled to go out and do the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So if you're not compelled to do that, or if you got too many doubts and it's stopping your progress to going out and doing the work, you need to pray and fast. You know, that the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, give you strength to go out there and do that, man. You know, because speaking for the DC camp, man, you know, it's not an easy thing, you know, being out there in DC. You know, I know Atlanta may have us beat, but it's a lot of homosexuals out there. You know, it's hard to be out there and battle the elements. And, you know, us, for the younger brothers, we out there for 6 hours a week, you know. And it get rough out there. So the Lord have to put the Spirit on you to do that. But if you want to do this work, if you're going to be a prophet of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you're going to have to go out there and do that. Now, man's goings is of the Lord, so how then will he understand his own way? But then, you know, you want to be guided and led to going out there and doing this work, man. You know, so, you know, you may feel the Spirit and be like, okay, well, the Spirit not leading me to go out there, you know, so maybe I'm good, maybe I'm straight, you know, whatever the case may be. But ultimately, we know the servants is commanded to go out there and do the work. If you're going to find your brothers, man, you got to go through the midst of Jerusalem, man. You got to be out there to find your brothers, man. You know, let me see something. This is Jeremiah 16:16. It says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them." You know, Right, and that's the first part of it, and obviously it goes into the hunters, but we're focusing on the fishers, man. You can't be fishing, well, you could to a certain extent here, but when you like on the videos, the sit downs, but when you fishing, man, you out there, out in the elements, man. When you speaking and you engaging, the crowd, engaging the people, man, you literally fishing, man. you know. So ultimately, man, the point is, man, if you're not in the camp right now, you come across this video, you have to go out there and join the camp. You want to be right, though. You want to be right with what camp that you join. And like I said, man, you shall see your teachers, man. Over here in Great Millstone, this ain't no a seasonal type camp, man. We in season and out of season. We ain't out here advocating for members, man. You gotta go out there and you gonna have to be tried, man. But you have to put yourself through, you have to mentally put yourself through that and go through that trial period, man. You have to go through that trial period, wait on the outside of the camp until your number's caught, And if the spirit is on you, you're gonna endure however long it may take, man. But it's time, man. It's time to get out there and go to the camps, man. So I'm just end it on that, Lord's will, to whom this may be for, it was edifying, and may the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah be on you to go out there and push this work, But with that, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders up in Great Millstone, and the sincere peace and salutations to all the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.